Hello, good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. I wanted to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day weekend for all of those who cannot join us today. My name is Vaughn Lee Jackson, Realtor with the McIlwain Group. Here we have the lovely and fabulous Tia. We have the lovely Dawn over here and Linda as well. Unfortunately, Sheila and our fearless leader, Janell, could not make it with us today, along with Carlton, but either way, if they have something to chime in, they most certainly can. But today we are going to be talking about solar panels. And as Janell would say, you either love them, hate them, or you don't understand them, which I think is perfectly said. So introducing Marty Stout here, who will be explaining to us solar panels. For those of you who love them, chime in. For those of you who don't understand or hate them because you don't understand, feel free to ask any questions. So Marty, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's a wonderful weekend.
Good.
So just to get started, just for everyone to kind of understand, what I wanted to ask you was the process of actually getting started with solar panels. For people who might be considering them, what all goes into that just to get started for our current homeowners?
Well, to get started with getting solar panels, basically, when you get solar panels, it's different steps to obtaining solar panels. Okay. First of all, you have to be an owner of the home. Your house has to get a lot of good direct sunlight. And the utility company has to approve you to become a partner with them to be able to produce energy for your neighborhood.
Okay.
Didn't know that piece. Okay.
Yeah, I really didn't know that. So is there a difference in the kinds of solar panels?
Yeah, there's different type of solar panels. When they talk about difference, they're just different wattages and stuff that they can carry. Different name brands of solar panels that different companies use. Right now, we've seen a lot of our company uses a lot of these small little flat solar panels. They're basically just a tie right into the roof that you can't even tell that they have solar panels.
Really? Wow.
That's fantastic.
When you say you can't tell that you have, you mean somebody looking at your roof?
Right. Basically, they're so flat and they're black and they chic. You can't even really tell that you have solar panels on your home.
That's good because a lot of people sometimes say they don't want them, excuse me, because of the way they look. So that's good to know that they're coming out with something, they have something that's,
real nice and chic for
exactly.
you. Absolutely.
That's what I hear mostly too, is the look of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I would think they would have to come out and somehow or another, I understand the qualification piece of it, but I would think they would also have to come out and make sure that they're getting enough sun to even get the panels to determine where they're going to put them on the house. Yeah, well, basically what happens is when they look at your house, they have to see if you get a lot of good direct sunlight at your home, right? And then how they determine as far as where to put the panels and things of that such nature. But basically what they do is we build a system off of the kilowatt usages that your home uses daily, a daily usage. So that's where we go and we determine where these panels are going to go to produce this amount of energy so you would not have electric bill. Gotcha.
So,
no, go ahead.
So let's go into that because I think people get a little confused on how it works. As far as I have solar, I love them, but people get a little confused on the getting an electric bill, getting a solar bill. Why don't we get an electric bill? Like try to explain how that part works and just the whole how it works as far as the billing.
Okay, so basically what we try to do is get you at 100%. Some homes can't get at 100%. So if your home cannot get 100% worth of power coming to your home, then you have two electric bills. You have, and that because sometimes that comes towards different pitches on the roof and things of that such nature, which not allow us to put solar panels in that area. So, but majority of the homes that they're building now, a lot of A-frame homes and things like that, they're being able to max it out. Even with some pitches, you can go in and put some solar panels on that. But the two electric bills, what happens is when you don't max out the system, you have two electric bills, right? So when you don't have the system producing enough energy, you still have to buy some energy from your utility company.
Oh.
So your utility company still has to supply some power for you.
I know right now my electric bill is almost $18.
Oh, wow.
I love it. And I also have solar panels, and it's interesting because you're right, depending on how much of the sun that the panels are capturing and using, sometimes I get an electric bill in addition to the solar bill, and sometimes I don't. Like right now, I have like a $50 credit with Lumeco. So the solar has really, the solar energy really has been kind of, I guess, providing that energy and the electricity and things that I need for the house. What I also find is really cool is that, you know, if something is going on with those panels, man, the solar company is really good about contacting you and sending you notifications or calling you to say, hey, we need to come out, something's not performing correctly. And they don't even necessarily have to come in the house. Majority of the time, they don't have to come in the house.
No, they don't have to come in the house at all.
Yeah, so they're so self-efficient in a sense of the way that the way the technology is done is that you don't really have to do anything. You don't really have to notify solar at all unless something really crazy is going on where you find that, I guess, you get an electric bill and your electric bill is like really sky high and you're not getting anything on the solar. Like something has to be really major.
Right.
But I like the fact that it kind of maintains itself and it talks to your hub, whatever that may be, at the solar company to let you know of any issues.
Well, it comes with a monitoring system.
Okay.
So the monitoring system allows them and you all to see on your phone if the panels are not producing enough energy for you. So that's what happens. So when they call them arrays. So you have ray 1, ray 2, ray 3, how many panels you have. So you'll get a notification that ray 1 is not producing enough energy. You will not only get the information, but the solar company gets the information too. And they'll come out, the installers, they'll come out and change that out or do what they got to do to make sure that your home is producing enough energy that you need.
And my house I bought it with solar panels. So that process is a little different because I had to qualify to transfer it.
Yeah.
So before we did the contract, I had to contact the solar company because I continued their contract. It was, I think, a 25-year contract.
Absolutely.
Which was done in 2013. So, but it was an easy process. I mean, everything was easy. The website is very user-friendly. They did contact me about 4G or something, or something. It was an upgrade on the speed. And like Tia said, didn't even have to come in the house. They came out, did whatever they did on the outside. With all the little things out there, and I love the summer. The summer is when I have all the days are longer and I get a lot of solar energy.
Which does bring me to my next question. Is there a best time throughout the year to actually get solar panels for home sellers who don't currently have them? And then of course with the home buyer, if they want to buy this house and it has them, you're getting them. It doesn't matter what time of the year. But I guess to benefit the most from it, is there a specific time?
No, you're benefiting all day, every day. Every day. And even the energy, even if the sun is not shining, you're still storing. Because what you're doing is any energy that system produces throughout the day, it's like this. It comes in and it's going back to the grid. And when you need it, the grid brings it back to you.
Okay.
So is there a limit as to how many panels you can have on your house? Is there any particular limit at all?
Well, basically you, like I said, it's not a limit.
Okay.
Because we want to get you at 100%.
Okay.
And I hear you all talking about y'all have some electric bills and stuff. So I just wanted to tap on that a little bit.
Sure.
Because I want to ask you a question. Do you pay your solar company?
Yes.
Okay. So sometimes there are different ways you can have solar. You can have a lease system or you can own ownership. Ownership and lease, when you lease the system, right? That means, hey, let me come and put my panels on your roof. Let me give you a reduction in your utility bill, right? But any overages that system produce or anything like that, that belongs to the leasing company. All the tax incentives and everything like that, the leasing company got all that stuff.
So the refund I got from Pepco, was that because the solar panels are owned?
No, because Pepco, what they do is they'll still pay you because the utility bill is in your name, right? they'll still pay you. You get paid like, what you get, like once a year, twice a year? You
I
get
don't know, but this is my first full year of
Yeah.
it, and we got a check for like $300.
in April, right?
Wow.
Like in April, yeah, in
we got
April,
like a
right,
$300
absolutely,
check for
Okay.
that.
absolutely.
And I'm looking, I was like, okay, did I double pay somebody?
No,
Wow.
so that's what happens with that. Once a year, you'll get the, it's called the net metering check.
Oh, wow.
So that means that, you don't own the system, but you leasing they're leasing your roof. But those overages and stuff, we're gonna give it to you.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting because I've never got a check like that.
So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
So do you own your panels? Do you
I
know-
do not.
Okay, you don't,
I
you have a
lease them.
lease.
Mhm.
So, and where you located in?
I'm
this
in
area?
Charles County, so Lumeco is my electric company.
And how long have you had your solar panels?
It's probably going on 3 years, at least 3 years or more.
Okay, so probably you've been receiving credits?
From Lumeco,
Yeah.
like in small amounts, like I'll have a credit in the bill for, like I said, $50. Like my recent bill showed a credit for $50 from
Okay.
Lumeco.
Okay,
But it all depends on my usage. like you said.
absolutely, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely, because even though you get solar panels, you still wanna monitor yourself.
Right. Mhm.
You know, you just don't wanna say, hey, I'm just gonna just leave all the lights on, I'm just gonna just be useless with it. No, you wanna monitor it. Because you, like that $400 check she
Yeah.
got, that $400 check she got, you can get the same thing. It's available to you. It's available to you. So you just gotta monitor, just monitor your stuff,
Wow,
but
okay.
that's what that's all about.
Gotcha,
Gonna
gotcha.
turn off the lights.
So what if we decide to buy and spend that large amount of money and buy the panels?
Let me tell you one thing. Ownership is always better. Because
Okay.
guess what? If you look at it, you're gonna pay your utility bill for the rest of your life while you're in your home. No one ever said that they were gonna finish paying off Pepco, Lumeco, or BG&E. You never even once thought of that. You never even knew that there was anything that it can ever exist that you would not have to pay for utility electric anymore.
True.
You're right.
But now on that note, if you purchase them,
Mhm.
and let's say when you purchase them, and for some reason you have to end up selling your house. Now you've made this investment in the panels,
Mhm.
but now you're no longer living in the house.
Mhm. Okay, so this is what happens with that, right?
Mhm.
So even when you have a lease system on your home and ownership, it
Mhm.
increases the property value of your home, right?
Mhm.
So when you go to sell your home, right?
Mhm.
Because it's a home improvement. So when you go to sell your home, right? The panels are paid off, right? The person that moves into the home do not have electric bill, right? You can move to Florida, Asia, Africa, Tokyo, or Mexico.
Mhm.
And any energy that system produce that new homeowner don't use, you'll still get the residual income off of that system because the system belongs to you.
Wow.
So I just want to make sure that I
Y'all
understand.
back it up?
Wow.
Yeah, you need to back it up. Because you just blew my mind. So,
Yes.
okay, I'm selling my house to Linda.
Mhm,
I own my solar panel,
mhm,
but I sold the property to her. I transferred ownership.
mhm.
So how would I still get the residuals even though the panels are fixed to the house and I've sold the property?
Because the system still belongs to you, it's yours, you own it.
So, but
Okay,
now,
listen,
Uh-huh.
okay, let me take you here.
okay,
Okay, you know how sometimes people put houses on people's land?
Mhm.
yes.
It's called ground rent,
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So even though the person no longer, they don't own the home, but they get the property off, they get the
Mhm.
residual off the ground rent.
Right.
So that's what that is about right there. So
That's a
you
great
you no
example.
longer own the home, but you own that system, it belongs to you.
So now in that case then, same case that Bonnie just said,
Mhm.
so if something were to go wrong, is she still getting the things, okay, your solar panels or something wrong with the solar, she's still getting that information?
No, you're gonna get the new homeowner is gonna get the information
Okay,
because they're in the home,
okay.
right? But she's still gonna get the residual income off of it, of any energy that
Right.
system produced that they don't use, she's gonna get residual income off of it. Because the system belongs to you.
So does that also apply to if the panels are in need of repair?
Absolutely. You're still under the warranty, the 25-year warranty.
But
Did it
she would be
transfer? Right.
responsible.
No.
all you're doing, you own them, you're getting the tax break, you're getting the residual.
She is.
She is, you're just using them.
You're just
Yeah.
using
You're
it.
just using them.
Yeah.
You have an account with them, you're gonna maintain as far as contacting for maintenance and all that.
So the
other kind of
warranty
thing.
still transfers to
Absolutely.
me as the homeowner.
Yes, and you have a
Absolutely.
roof problem and you need them removed, get the new roof, you contact. She's just getting the benefit
Fit.
of starting doing that energy saving
Okay.
in the beginning.
Mhm.
Now, there's also a huge tax break, right?
Absolutely. Wow. I'm glad you, oh man, it's awesome. They are offering, I'm gonna tell y'all, they are giving 30%, it's a 30% tax credit
That's huge.
Wow.
that they're giving
Wow.
homeowners.
That's huge.
And that's coming from the federal government,
From
Mhm.
purchasing, when you purchase.
from purchasing solar panels, producing energy. Then guess what? In the state of Maryland, they've given away $1,000 for you getting solar at your home.
So that's just for getting them.
Yeah,
but
live
that's-
check. They send you a check for going solar.
So not even
Wow.
owning or leasing, just getting.
Just get
Now, what happens with the leasing?
Mhm.
With the leasing, the solar company, the one who leases your roof and puts the panels on there, they get all those incentives. They just saying, hey, we're gonna just lease your roof, put our panels on there, but all the tax incentives we're gonna get.
So
I
when you
see.
purchase it.
You're
get
gonna,
those
when you
benefits.
purchase it, you're
It's
gonna
a
get the
different
30%
ballgame.
investment tax credit, right? You're gonna get the $1,000 from the state of Maryland, it's going up $5,000, just haven't been put out there yet.
Wow.
$5,000 for going solar. And then guess what else? If you live in Prince George's County, they're giving you another $5,000 to pay your homeowner's property taxes for 3 years.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And for those of you who don't know, Maryland gives you no tax breaks on your property taxes unless you are a 100% disabled vet,
Yep.
then you don't pay property
Right.
taxes.
That's right.
You could be
Mhm.
90 years old.
Yep.
Maryland wants you to
They
pay
want their taxes, absolutely.
Maryland does
Nah,
not.
give
So
you a
that
break.
is huge.
Yes.
They're giving you a 5-year break on that.
Yeah, they're paying your property taxes for 3 years. But also, guess what else? If you live in special zip codes in Prince George's County,
Mhm.
they're giving you an extra another $10,000 live check for going solar.
I'm moving to PG.
All this stuff, it's worth you really and truly, because I know getting the system is pretty pricey.
Mhm.
It's
but
almost like it's
almost
paying for
worth-
itself.
but
It does. It's
almost
paying for
worth
itself.
taking money if you needed to out of 401k or getting money from
Right,
someplace
right.
to purchase this system.
Right,
and
absolutely.
collect all those
Incentives.
and, yeah, put
Put the money
in
back
your
or
debt.
do whatever you want. Or you can
Wow.
take your money, invest it somewhere else. They are really on, they're pushing it to, and with these incentives, you cannot.
Right, right.
Um,
Wow,
So,
yeah,
so
that-
clearly there's more benefits in owning the solar panels, but outside of just a lowered electric bill, for people who are leasing them, what you're telling me is if I lease solar panels, there's nothing that I can write off on my taxes.
no, you just have that bill. You just have that cheaper bill. But listen to
It's
this.
a lot cheaper, Bob.
Yeah, it's a lot
Listen to
cheaper.
this, but guess what though? I tell the customers this. If your electric bill was normally $200 a month, and someone say that you might can't pass credit or whatever to get solar, and you can get a lease system on your home, you take that money that you was gonna pay that $200 a month, that you was gonna pay you only gonna be paying $5 a month or $18 a month. You take that money and put it in a job. Because that's your savings right there.
Mm,
Just because you pay an $18 electric bill, that doesn't mean to go take your money and spend it.
right.
That means put it in a jar and save it.
So let me ask you a question, since you just mentioned that. So the credit that you have to pass, is that credit you have to pass to purchase them
Mhm.
and lease, or just to purchase them, you have to pass a credit check?
Yes, well, let me rephrase that, because they got different things, even in DC, they giving away DC free solar panels
Oh, wow.
for DC residents. You don't have to do a credit check or anything like that. All
Okay,
you have to do is be an ownership of the home,
And
okay.
then the whole system free.
get a whole system for free.
Did y'all hear?
Wow.
Hey, look,
Maybe we need to step up.
I know, you know what I'm saying? A whole solar system for free, and they're even putting roofs on for you too.
Wow.
And look, in DC also, if you're a senior, they'll come in and make the doors wider. They'll give you a walk-in
Yeah.
tub. They adjust the house. I forget, make it accessible.
Yeah.
for the
Yes.
Seniors and
Yes.
they do that for free in DC too.
That
Yes.
almost makes fighting through the traffic worth it.
Yes, absolutely,
Just saying.
absolutely.
Okay, so we talked about all this great stuff, because this
Mhm.
is great stuff. I've learned a lot, even as someone who has a solar system on their home.
Mhm.
So what would you say are some of the, I don't want to say negative things, but kind of like negative things about getting solar? Anything that you can think of?
There's nothing negative to me. There's absolutely nothing negative to me about you getting solar for your home. The only negative things that I see is if we have known about this years ago, we could have tapped into it, but we did not know.
Right.
But and allowing us to continue to be robbed by the utility companies, charging us all these fees to bring power to our homes when we can produce our own energy. So I don't see anything negative about it. It's all good.
Excellent.
I do have a question. So at the end of you lease your solar panels,
Mhm.
at the end of the lease period, do
Mhm.
they give you an option to purchase them then? Do you restart a lease or do they upgrade them? What happens at
Okay.
the end?
Okay, so what they do, they come in within the lease process, they come out and change them out. They'll still come out and change them out, like, I think like every 5 years, maybe 5 or 10 years.
Oh,
They
wow.
come out and change them out, right?
Hmm.
So basically and then at the end of it, most of the solar companies, you can buy it for $1, the system for $1,
Wow.
right?
I have to look, their tax break is already run out.
Right, everything's gone,
Right.
here you go.
Right.
But in ownership, once the system is completely paid off, you pay no one no more.
Once the system's completely paid off.
You pay no one no more.
So you don't get your kilowatt bill.
You don't get, only thing that you get from your utility company is a interconnection, $8.
Oh,
But you
wow.
don't, you don't
Can't
pay for,
avoid
you
that.
don't,
Really?
no, you don't,
And I
oh,
didn't
you
know
don't.
that.
So
the
listen,
benefits keep coming.
Yeah.
so guess what? Just like she was saying, you can get that money out your 401k or whatever, you can buy it straight out. Buy it straight out, you don't have to pay no one. And basically it just becomes, it's your energy security card.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you what, I'll be honest. So if I have a solar panel that's paid for and I'm not paying an electric bill and I have, say, a swimming pool,
Mhm.
I'm not selling my daggone house.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, you live there forever. You live there forever. And I just wanted to share another thing with you all too, is that I'm glad that y'all allow me to come on here because this is some good information for the people. Because a lot of people don't
Absolutely.
understand about it.
Right.
And I've heard a lot of stories, people say they don't like the way it look and all this kind of stuff, but you gotta save money nowadays. You gotta be very wise with your finances. And you see, as the cost of gas going up, the cost of food going up, everything's gonna continue to keep going up. If you look on the back of your electric bill, and some people, and I'm gonna tell you, stop getting paperless bills. Get your bills so you can see what's going on. We get our bills, oh, it's $300, we just pay it.
That's me.
That's true. That's true.
No, get your bill, flip your bill over, read it, and see. And you'll see all the delivery charges that they're charging to bring power to your
Yes.
home, that you can produce your own self.
Yep. And some people also don't know that on their electric bill, it shows them too how much they're being charged from the provider and who their provider is.
Absolutely.
I actually made that mistake last year. I was kicking myself in the butt because I don't have solar,
Mhm,
but I am with Lumeco.
mhm.
And you get these random knocks at the door. Hey, I'm with Clearview Energy. I can save you some money on your electric bill. Well, sure.
Mhm.
Yes, I would love to save. I have 2 kids.
Third party,
It's
third party.
very expensive. But I realized that my bill had gone up from what I was paying, and then I started paying like $300 for an electric bill. I'm like, hold on, this don't look right.
Mm-mm.
So when I looked over, then I could see that it was a third-party provider, and
Third-party
instead
provider.
of being charged, I think it's like 10 cents per
Kilowatt.
kilowatt.
Mhm,
I was being charged 30 cents
mhm.
per kilowatt. I called the company, I called Smecco, I'm just like, what is going on? They said, well, these are our current charges, but this is who you signed up with.
Mhm.
So this is why you see that increase.
Oh, wow.
Change that quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I was doing the same thing. Get the bill, just pay it. And then I started to notice, I'm like, hold on, something's just not looking
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely be mindful.
Yeah, and that those third party companies and stuff, you know, a lot of people think that they're out to really help them, but they're adding more fees onto the bill.
Oh yeah.
They're adding more fees onto the bill. And if you look, like I said, always look at the back of your bill and you're gonna see everything that's going on. Be aware of what's happening.
So I do have a question, just because, you know, so Tia has solar panels, Dawn has solar panels, Linda, I don't know if you do. We don't. But for those who do have solar panels, it seems that all of the information which you're giving isn't just readily available for everyone. So if a current homeowner or even a seller, they decide they want to sell their homes, they just want to make sure that they're getting all of their incentives for having done this in the first place. Is there a certain place that they can go to figure out all this information, tax breaks, different things?
They can call Marty.
That's right.
Absolutely. They
Good
can call
answer.
me. They sure can. They can call me. And that's what I love to educate people, give people information about things because, I always know knowledge is power.
Yeah,
And I know our people perish for lack of knowledge. And they reject it too.
Yeah,
You know?
that's
Yeah.
true.
Okay, I got one more question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so now if I purchase a house
Mhm,
and there's solar panels, but the previous owner purchased them, so that they're not leased.
mhm,
If I don't like them and I want them to come down,
mhm.
first of all, can I do that? And then also, has the solar panel caused any discoloration in the roof? The part that's does not have solar panels, because the roof, the sun,
Mhm.
how it may discolor the roof. So that area that, has solar panels on it, is it now in a different shade or color than the part of the roof that's been exposed all that time for so many years?
Okay, first question was,
Can I take them down?
can you take them down? You
'Cause I don't want
can,
'em,
you can, but why would you?
'cause I don't want them.
But if they're producing energy and they're saving you money, why would you take them down?
Suppose somebody wants to take them down.
They can take them down.
Okay, they can't come down.
They can come down, but
Okay. And have you all seen that they cause any, like I said,
Discoloration?
discoloration?
no,
Okay,
I haven't seen anything like that.
okay, cool.
But you know what? What causes a lot of discoloration to the roofs and make them dirty looking is the sun.
Yeah.
Because I got tapped into that too.
Mhm.
Because they lose their oils and their minerals and stuff.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's why we call roof restorations.
Okay.
I do that too.
Right.
That's it. And they help protect the roof.
Right, right,
Solar
right.
panels help preserve the longevity of the roof.
Okay.
So then when you talk about that, it makes me think about roof repairs, because a lot of folks are probably at that time when they need to replace their roof and they probably currently have solar panels on them.
Mhm.
So typically the roofer will not touch the solar panels to remove them, which is probably what you guys will want anyway.
Right.
Because if the roofer
Mhm.
dismantles the panels, could that possibly mess up the warranty as well?
Right. A roofer cannot touch those solar panels. Those are electric panels. They're producing energy. So the electricians have to come out and remove the solar panels. Then the roofer comes and he replaces the roof, do the roof work, and then the electrician comes back, the installer comes back and put those panels back on that roof.
Got it.
Is there a charge for that?
Great question. That was
Yeah.
the next one.
Different companies charge different things. Like some of them charge like $50 to $100 to have the panels removed.
Per panel or?
Yeah,
just-
per panel.
Okay, that's not bad.
But you know one thing, remember I told you?
What's that?
Remember I told you about that $18 electric bill?
Right.
That $15 electric bill,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And you normally was paying a $200 electric bill?
Mhm.
And I told you, put that money in that job.
Yes.
Put that money in that job. Don't go buy your new bag, your new shoes, your new hat, your new coat. You don't go do that. You put the money in the job, right? And you save it for a rainy day. If it rains.
Right, right, right.
Sounds like I get a Martin jar. That's what
Get
I
a water
get,
jar.
Martin
Get a water jar. You save it for a rainy day. Whatever your day of rain is, whatever you need it for. You know what I mean? So if you're saving $180 a month off your electric bill and you're only paying $20, put that $180 in the jar.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
So start your Marty jar today.
Start your Marty jar.
Let me ask you one more question.
Go
We
ahead.
got a question from here.
Mhm.
What is the DC program for the free panels?
It's called DC Free Solar for All. You can reach me about that too.
There you go.
DC Free Solar for All.
Excellent.
And we'll make sure that we get Marty's information, have her share that at the end of the session too. And then we can also get that out to anyone who wants that, because we actually met Marty at a home show. When was that? Was that
Back in March.
Was it March?
Yes. March.
Okay, back in March. And I'm gonna tell you, Dawn and I talked to her for probably a good hour. And we also learned a lot from Marty. And I appreciate the fact that she was willing to share information and share all that she knew to help us make better decisions about solar and to help get those people who are kind of on the fence about it, simply because they just don't know.
Yeah.
And so I will tell you that I was probably the last one in my neighborhood to get solar. Everybody was getting it. I was like, I'm gonna wait and see what they're doing. I'm like, I don't know about this. I didn't know enough about it. And then I waited until my neighbors got it. And then I walked across the street. Okay, so are you really saving, on your solar? And they really were, because there was a family of 4 whose electric bill was $600 before solar. So and they were saying on average now they were doing about 200, which is huge because they have young children in the house. So I will say solar was definitely the way to go for me. And I've even learned more since talking to Marty and meeting Marty back in March when we were at the home show, that I didn't know, like all these benefits, these tax breaks that you can get as an owner of those panels, all the programs that now we're learning that will give you free panels. I mean, there's just a lot of things out there. And like she said, knowledge, it just really becomes power for you, because now you understand, number one, how you help that footprint when we're talking about the environment. Yep, absolutely. And then you're saving money. Okay, so it's just a win all the way around. I appreciate you being here, seriously.
I want to say something too. When I think about clean renewable energy, when I think about all the natural gases and stuff that's been released out here and how people are getting cancer and sickness and disease and all that kind of stuff. And I look at this world as trying to make a way that we can live longer without all these sickness and diseases. So clean renewable energy is the way to go. It's the way to go. Even as far as the water, you see how they put in the water, what do they call the retainers and stuff to be able to have your own water and things like that. I mean, it's a lot of changes going to take place.
Absolutely.
I believe eventually, and if we look back, I'm gonna say this about the Jetsons. Y'all remember the Jetsons?
Yes.
You remember the Jetsons had the flip phones? You remember the Jetsons had the flip phones?
Jetsons had a whole bunch of stuff.
Right, and
Yes.
that's what, but the television always tell the vision.
Yes.
And I strongly believe that one day we're gonna be in our cars and we're gonna have cars that fly.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be able to come down to our homes, but we're not gonna be polluting the air
Right.
Like,
like we're doing now. Everything is gonna be clean.
Yep.
So that's where we're headed. So, and also I just want to tap on this too. I don't know, in this area down in Hughesville,
Yes.
they are putting up a lot of these solar farms.
Yes.
There are a lot of solar farms going on. So the solar farms is based on the utility company owns these farms. They put out all these solar panels, right? So they still charge you to bring the power from that solar farm to your home. Right?
Yeah.
And so as the rates keep going up, your rates are going to keep going up, but they're drawing the same amount of power that you can do with the solar panels on your own roof,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
just to bring it to your house when you can already have it at your house.
Just cut out the middleman.
Cut
the
the middleman out. Yes. And the utility companies and the people ask, why are they giving us all these incentives? And why are they just, putting solar on, telling people to get solar? Because we get most of our power from Pennsylvania. So to redo the infrastructure for these big power companies, they're old and outdated, it costs too much. So this is what the federal government says, hey, look, we'll pay the people to produce energy
Wow.
because we can't do it.
Yeah.
They're old and they're outdated.
Right, right.
So we'll pay you, we'll give you 30% investment tax credit. We'll give you $5,000 for your homeowner's property taxes. We'll give you another $5,000 for going solar. We'll give you free solar panels in DC because DC has no farms.
Right.
They have no land to put no farms.
Exactly.
So they said, hey, look, if we can get your homeowners, if we can get you homeowners to put these solar panels on your home and you'll produce energy, right?
Yep.
And you produce the energy, we'll come and replace your roof for you.
Wow.
And then we'll still pay you once a year in April for any energy that that system produced that you don't use. We'll give it to you.
Well, let me ask you, especially in DC, there are a lot of trees in DC because the homes are close to it. So how about that? The trees, with the solar panels.
Okay, what they do is, because it's you can't go into DC cutting down a lot of trees.
Right.
So they trim the trees. They trim them so the house can get a lot of good sunlight.
Okay. And all that's uncovered, does a homeowner have to pay
No,
for
no,
that?
no, no. So what happens is, so when I say DC free solar for all,
Right.
okay, solar panels are free. So and they will come in and they will trim your trees for you for free.
Wow.
Is that in Maryland? Well,
In
Maryland
DC.
In Maryland also, the homeowner has to do that.
And in Maryland, once they do this, all of this obtained on a site survey.
Okay.
So you can have a whole lot of trees in your yard, right?
Right.
But they might be producing a lot of shade.
Right. Okay.
So it's called a site survey.
Got it.
They come out and do the site survey. That means they're gonna check your roof, see what kind of sunlight you got coming in there. They're gonna check your your electric panel box.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To see if you're available to up the usage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what happens in the site survey. So if the trees need to be cut down or the trees need to be trimmed, they'll do it for you. But what they do is called an add-on in Maryland.
Okay.
You know, in Maryland, you don't have to come out your pocket with no money to get solar. You don't have to come out of your pocket, but it becomes your new electric bill at a price that you can afford, and you don't have to ever worry about it going up.
Okay.
So are you familiar with any of the solar benefits in Virginia as well? Because some of us do service Virginia too.
And Virginia, as far as I know, is they just have the 30% investment tax credit. They don't have a lot of different incentives in Virginia.
Okay.
Gotcha. So when you think about, we talk about how the panels pretty much use the sun, energy of the sun, and you keep me honest as I'm trying to recap this. So then there's another, for lack of a better word, meter, if you will, that's connected to the solar panels, right? And so essentially you have two meters on your home. You have your Lumeco or Pepco, BGE, whatever your current electricity is, a company is. And then you also have a separate meter for a smart meter, okay, for the panels. And then that smart meter is somehow connected to the electric meter, your main one, is that correct? So when you think about when you're charged for electricity, okay, you're using electricity, the meter goes in what direction is this? Is that clockwise?
Or the meter goes when you don't have solar panels at your home, the meter goes like this.
Okay.
So
But when
clockwise.
it goes clockwise. But when you have solar on your, it goes counterclockwise.
Oh.
Yeah, you take it backwards
Okay.
Oh.
and you give it back to the utility company. But right now the utilities companies are saying, let me get it. Let me get it. Let me get
Let me
it.
skip ahead.
Right. So let's say like this morning, it was a kind of a gloomy day here. We're in Waldorf, our current location. So it's kind of gloomy this morning. So are the panels still getting some kind of energy, even though it's gloomy outside and there's no direct sun and the sun is not out and bright? You know what I mean?
The panels store power energy.
Okay.
So when the sun is not, let's check this out. Remember I told you how the meter goes like this?
Right.
So when the meter goes like this, you're sending power back to the grid
For storage.
for storage.
Okay.
Oh, now
Like a cloudy day, no sun shining,
Right.
but you need power for your home. guess what? And the grid knows there's no sun outside, and the grid sends that power back to your home.
Oh, wow.
And it's still enough storage for everybody in that grid or that neighborhood to get enough.
Right,
Okay.
absolutely. Now look, Biden passed a law, right?
Mhm.
If 100% of your, if 100% of your neighbors in your neighborhood
Mhm.
got solar,
Mhm.
if they would never have a power outage.
Interesting.
I guess they wouldn't, because it'd be stored in.
Because we got a whole, like, say like your whole cul-de-sac,
Right.
Okay.
and all of y'all got solar. And that the power was to ever go out, y'all will still have power. That's why he said, get solar.
Wow.
So, yeah, I
Makes
wonder about that. When electricity goes out,
Yeah,
people who have but that's only if your whole neighborhood or
Right.
area has that.
right. But then they also have, it's called backup batteries.
Right.
Okay.
So they have a backup battery system, right? And backup batteries, they have to go into like a garage or a closet space where they can be stored separately,
Okay.
right? So check this out. So just say like if a homeowner say, you know one thing, I want to get some backup batteries.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the backup batteries, they last for 10 years. They'll come out and change them out every 10 years, right? They store more power. So say like the power was to go out,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And you got those backup batteries at your home.
Mhm.
Your neighbor's gonna be coming over and say, can I plug up my cord to your house? Because I got power. And the backup batteries, they basically, you want them just to cover the basic things.
Mhm.
Your
Right.
refrigerator,
exactly
you know,
like
some,
that.
your outlets,
Yes,
you know, it won't run your air conditioning system.
Right, right.
But just basic things. If
Mhm.
somebody has to have the oxygen tanks and whatever, keep the
medical
medicine
stuff.
cold, yeah.
Especially if you have well water.
Well water.
Because people think
Yes,
that
yes.
well water, yeah, the well water.
No,
Pumps
pump-
by
no, no,
the electric.
It pumps by electric, not unless you have that old fashioned one.
Right.
You roll it down, you let that bucket, you take that bucket, and that was the best. Hey, listen, that was the best. I don't know if y'all know anything. Anywhere y'all was in the country?
No, but I
My
love my
grandparents
well
were.
water.
Man, I'm gonna tell you that well water, when you take that bucket and it goes down in
It
there.
is
What? And you
cold.
roll that thing back
Yes.
up,
Right, right.
and you get that little scoop and you put it in there. Ooh,
The
And can you
best.
taste the difference?
yeah, absolutely. I can taste it right now,
I
it's in my
had
mind.
well water in my house, it was such a difference. And
Mhm.
even the shower, the water you get from the shower is
Mhm.
different. It's all different.
Interesting.
So in regards to the backup batteries, so it's possible to purchase solar panels without the backup battery.
Yes, absolutely.
So what you're saying is that would be an add-on cost.
Mhm.
Okay,
add-on.
but definitely well worth it.
Well worth it.
Now, my other question is circling back, you know, because I know we have all these incentives going on,
Mhm.
but everyone's familiar with Black Friday, right?
Mhm.
You get all your deals on Black Friday, even the day after Christmas, things go on sale.
Mhm.
So if I want to purchase solar panels
Mhm.
and say, you know, it's the day after Christmas, are they going to be a little bit cheaper than if I were to get them in the summer?
No.
So give it a
No,
I'm trying to help y'all out
No,
here.
but you know what, but listen, but first, but you know, back before the 30% tax credit, they were only giving like 26%. They just raised it to 30%.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right.
So you gotta get in while the getting is good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because once it's gone, this is what happens. Once the utility company get enough people to produce energy, all these incentives are gone out the way.
Mhm.
There will be no more.
Mm.
Which makes sense. That's
True.
exactly what they're gonna do. Yeah.
There'll be no more.
Yeah.
In the state of Maine, no one else can get solar there. The utility company has enough people producing energy.
Wow.
So guess what? The ones that don't get it,
They just lost it.
they just lost out. And guess what? And their bills are gonna keep going up.
Wow.
So say you're like I am, so I'm purchased a house with solar. Do they give you the option of saying, hey, this is what's left of the contract, you can just buy the rest of the solar?
Yeah, you can.
You can
Yeah,
do
you
that,
can
so
do that.
call and get a
Payoff.
per
Yeah, you can
se.
get a payoff on it.
Sure.
So let's say, for instance, too, you talked earlier about the person having ownership, they buy them outright, they have ownership of the panels. They've sold the house, someone else comes in, they just kind of take over the bill. Can the original owner of that system transfer ownership? of the panels, when you talk about that residual income that you spoke about earlier. So you own it and let's say, hey, I'm gonna transfer that ownership to Tia. Can you do that?
Like, I don't want nothing else.
Yeah, I
to do
don't want
with it.
nothing to do with it anymore. Have you ever had anyone do that?
I've never heard no one do that.
Okay.
They probably like that.
I mean, you know, a monkey will take money, if they ain't got no pocket to put it in. I ain't never heard nobody say, you will take the money. I'm gonna give you a house with, you don't have to pay an electric bill, and I'm gonna give you the money, my residual income, my inheritance. Absolutely not. That can be transferred, the inheritance can be transferred over to your children and your children's children and your children's children. No, absolutely not.
Okay, so no Marty doll now.
All right, so we are getting ready to come to a close here, but it was so much wonderful information. We definitely learned a lot. I learned a lot, and I'm considering the switch myself. So Marty, if any of our viewers have any other questions, where can they find you at?
Well, they can reach me on my email at Marty, your solar sister @gmail.com.
I love it. Say that again.
Yeah.
Marty, your solar sister @gmail.com.
There you go. That's
Love
And if you have any questions or anything, just shoot me an email and I'll respond back to you. But listen, solar is the way to go. Save lives, clean energy, and save money.
Love it. Love those takeaways.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Marty.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.